Beepus boopus.
Beepus boopus.
We are now livus. That rhymes. Flawless. Bippity boppity. You are now my property. I don't know. What am I saying? Strim. Strom. I didn't put any cream on my hands today. My hands are really dry. Oh well. I'll just have to live with that, won't I? It doesn't look too bad on camera, at least. The latency is so much better when I'm actually using USB rather than Wi-Fi, now that I got that working. Those sound like the frantic clicks of someone playing Hades.
Maybe.
So, the start of today's stream, we will be painting Tyranids. However, Hades got on the model shelf and flung like a dozen models off of the shelf.
Oh.
And this guy, I fixed some of it, but the lightning is literally just super glued on wire. You can see clearly where a couple bits I have re-super glued. Most of it is back on. I need to line this bit up. And I need to stick this. There's a bit, I have the wire here. I need to stick this on. So we're going to start the stream by doing that. However, it's really awkward. Not only is actually getting the enough super glue on here to stick really hard, but holding it in place while it sticks is really hard. So this is not going to be an enjoyable experience for me to do or for you to watch. Hello, Bashimi and Gay Fluffle. Also, so I was saying to George before we started, the thumbnail of the last stream on YouTube, the auto-generated thumbnail, was of me opening the can of cider. So, how dare I start early on the one night you're not near your phone at 8 PM? Hey, I only started, what, a minute early? But yes, I have these needle nose pliers to work with. I've got some super glue, and I've got a toothpick for applying super glue. And we're going to try and put this tiny bit of wire here between here. I may first, however, attach this bit of lightning to here. Start with that. Let's get the camera, shall we, so you can see what I'm doing. Would this be easier for me to do with the handle or just raw dogging the model? I actually think it's going to be easier to just raw dog the model, you know?
Fucking raw dog it.
Get a nice amount of super glue on the toothpick. Point, it was there. Super glue on there. And some there. And pray that that's enough for it to hold. Unfortunately, while super glue is amazing, it doesn't bond all that well to silver jewelry wire. So it's not really surprising it broke when it got flung across the room by a cat. Ooh, perfect. I don't even have to hold that in place. It's being held on by tension. That should be perfect for the glue to dry. And how much glue is actually on there? Can the camera see better? Is that the limit of its autofocus? Looks like a decent amount. I'm gonna actually... Yeah, that should be good. Unfortunately, you know, as is the way, if you look really closely at the model, you will definitely see where the bits have been super glued on. Previously, they were super glued on and then painted over. So yeah, obviously it doesn't have paint on it. It's just super glue. Crusty ass nails. Yeah, the nail varnish has chipped. I haven't painted them in a while. And also all of the nail beds where I've been biting my nails. Wonderful. That's what we like to see on a stream that is mostly my hands. Oh no, the toothpick. So that should dry relatively quick. The next bit's gonna be the hard bit though, because this is gonna require super gluing and holding, which is quite difficult. Super glue up that toothpick. Nice and super gluey, nice and goopy. Why does your nail polish always chip like you munch on them? It's just cheap nail polish. It just chips over time. You do anything and it chips. I don't spend much money on getting nice nail polish. I just get like, you know, £2 or £3 nail polish. I did see some nail polish in Superdrug that I really liked, though, so I might have to get that at some point. It was like £7. But it was a really nice colour. It was sparkly. Purples. Right, I also don't know which way up this goes. I'm going to make a guess that it was that way up. It was. This is going to be so difficult. Come at this a different angle. This is going to be really frustrating to watch, and I'm sorry to everyone that does. Just imagine how frustrating it was for me to do this, and to now have to do this again. Please, for fuck's sake. Come back here. I can't get it out again. Get tough. I'll just get fucked. At least let me pick you up again. Jesus Christ. Doing this once was bad enough. Is that even the right way around? Maybe it's the other way. Was it like that? My hands are not steady enough for this shit. Definitely that. Would this be easier with my fucking... No, this will not be easier with my fucking sausage fingers. Not in any way. Oh fucking hell, I had it and it didn't stick. This is what I mean, like, the glue that I put on has probably dried by now as well. You want fast acting super glue so you don't have to hold it for very long, but also if you don't get there in time it dries. Yeah, that's 100% just not even adhering anymore. George breathing noises ASMR happening in the background.
Oh, oh, oh. I
I
can turn
hadn't
my
noticed.
sensitivity up a bit.
I hadn't noticed. I think it's when the button hammering happens, your breath is picked up with it, I guess.
Fair enough.
I think I need to bend the metal slightly, a tiny bit. Please. Right, it's on there. I made it worse. Fucking Christ on a bicycle. I hate this. I love how the wire looks with the lightning effects I can create, but every single time I work with it, I want to blow my brains out, dude. Genuinely hate. Like, everything about it. Working with super glue is awful. Working with the wire is awful. It's so tiny. The super glue doesn't stick when you want it to and then dries when you don't want it to. Can you just fucking stick and then stay there? For the love of God. Oh my God, it came off again. If this isn't the dick rippiest start to a stream in the world, I don't know what is.
God, I've not heard that term in ages, dude.
I hadn't thought of that term in a long time until today. I'm gonna rip my dick off. It's gonna happen. I don't understand physics. Like, I nudge it, and it moves in a different direction to where I nudge it. You know what? It's not gonna perfectly line up with the spot it was in, and that's okay. I don't even care, actually. I wanted it to be like this. Oh, please at least fucking touch, though. Oh, don't fall. It keeps wilting, and I just want it to stay there. No! Are you fucking kidding me? Right, I'll let that dry. We'll let that dry, and then I'll touch up the other bit, because otherwise it'll fucking move. Oh, God. It's like the more I do it, and the more frustrated I get, and the more frustrated I get, the shakier my hands are, which makes it harder, which frustrates me more. And it's this endless cycle of just causing me to want to die. It's not in the same place anymore, and it looks kind of shit, but you know what? It's better than nothing. You have the patience of a god, couldn't be me. I don't know why I just don't believe that. I just
Really, first room. Didn't give that time to level up before popping it. Thanks, game.
What happened?
One of the keepsakes I'm trying to level up, it used it up in the first room before I had any chance of like efficiently leveling it up. Let's say.
You'd be doing the Chad face all the way through, failing repeatedly. I think it's the fact that I've done this before, and it was just as frustrating the first time, so there's that... the dread knowing that I have to go through it again. That's what makes it as frustrating as it is. But like, once this is done, it's done. I can go back, I can start painting models again.
What do I need for his legendary?
Never touch this guy again.
Ooh.
There we go. Oh god, it is done. Hopefully never again. See, the other glue I'm going to be working, it's actually the same brand. That's Yoo-Hoo Super Glue. The other glue I've got is all-purpose glue, and the reason I've got it isn't because I'm using it to stick stuff together. It's because when it dries a little bit, it goes really stringy. So I can use it to make gore by dabbing it between like claws and stretching it out and making them covered in gross viscera and goo. And that'll be really fun. I'm gonna make my Tyranids disgusting. I'm gonna make them disgusting. Anyway, that model is done now. Fuck this guy in particular. Fuck this guy in particular, even though he's meant to be the leader of my, like, traitor marines. My little squad that I, like, kit bashed. Fuck him in particular. I can't wait to, start painting my Stormcast that I also added lightning to, just for that to come off. I will lose my mind. The first time I did it, I didn't have toothpicks to apply super glue with, so it was even worse. Calm. Composure. Drink more alcohol to stop the shakes. No more death threats. No more suicide references.
No more dick ripping?
No more dick ripping. We paint white. Clean slate. Right, we've got all of these guys to do. All of these guys to touch up their whites.
Whoa.
You heard. And then once their whites are touched up, we touch up their greys.
What?
My brain has stopped working. White paint. That's what I need. That was a real blue.exe has stopped working moment right there. I was just staring at my wet palette like, yes, that sure is a wet palette.
15% dodge chance. That then 6.5 on that. Not too bad.
I don't know what you just said, but it sounded like you said like 2% dodge Trump.
Dodge chance.
Oh, dodge chance. So I finished Inuyashiki.
Nice.
Donald Trump's in
How'd you find
Inuyashiki.
He is? I completely forgot about that.
I was not prepared. Like, without too many spoilers, it's right at the end, like the final episode. They have the TV on and Donald Trump's on the TV. FYI, you're still sick, so get ready for some quality chatting tonight. Oh, always. I'm gonna start talking really shit French just to like melt Bashimi's brain, you know? Parlez-vous Francais, you know? I was looking at my Anki stats, which is an app I've been using to learn Japanese via flashcards earlier today. I've broken 900 cards learnt now, which is nice. 900 different words and phrases
Nice.
in my 1.5k deck. So I'm like a bit over halfway there. And then hopefully, when I immerse, I'll actually start learning. Wouldn't that be nice? It took 22 minutes and 18 seconds for us to bring up Donald Trump today. That's pretty restrained of us. It was only in the context of an anime. He's not even like a big character. He just comes on the news and tells people to get lost, calls everyone losers, which is pretty on character. And let's keep it contained. I don't think anyone wants a rant this early. What? You don't? Hope that painting in these sleeves doesn't cause me to issue, because I am currently wearing my my poet shirt. One more week to go until we've got Monster Hunter.
Let's go.
Although, as always, as it has been with the entire beta of it, it's launching the day after my stream.
It's going out on Friday. Oof.
Yeah, it's coming out on the 28th, I think. Much like the beta being like, yeah, we're gonna come like launch on Friday and end on like Tuesday. Just to drive me insane specifically. But it's fine, it means we get one more painting stream to see how the Tyranids are going.
Before this becomes a Monster Hunter channel.
Before it, yeah, exactly. I might have to launch Blue the Nerd Gaming as well to do like exclusively Monster Hunter content. And or maybe I don't even do that. Maybe I just do it on my main channel and I just like stop doing Reddit content and don't say anything about it. Just completely phase out the content and become an exclusive Monster Hunter channel and don't like ever mention why. I won't lie. I do think the Reddit content is getting a little bit tired.
Yeah.
But one, I don't know what else I can do or where I can take it. And two, the exact same point as one, just in different words. I don't really know what other content to make or where to go or what to do. I'm having a bit of a crisis. I've been having a bit of a crisis about it for the last year and a half, I think. What am I if not a Reddit YouTuber, you know? Although I've also been debating just cutting Reddit out as well. Like, if I stop making Reddit content, I'm not using Reddit anymore. Because that website's getting shit. I won't lie. It's like 98% repost bots, 2% bait. But what else could I do? I have no other talents.
Blue the Nerd ASMR.
Well, there is that, and I do actually still want to start that at some point. But like, that's also quite a saturated market, so the chance of my channel ever taking off is pretty slim. I'll do it anyway, but like, yeah, I don't think it's going to be that popular, especially for a mask presenting person.
Yeah.
Maybe I should become a lifestyle blogger. Or vlogger. Hi guys, welcome to today's vlog where I don't leave my house for the entire day. But what if a Viking does ASMR? I mean, or a pirate. Or a pirate Viking. Which is just what a Viking was. Did you know there were pirates that the French government permitted to piracy into raiding ships as long as they paid tax?
Oh. I was not aware of this.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the French. But I think it was partly because while, yes, the French ships got raided by it, so did, like, the British. It might have been the other way around. It could have been the British that were like, yeah, you can be a pirate as long as you pay us tax and make sure you're pillaging the French as well. I can't remember. I can't even remember what pirate it was. It was quite a famous pirate. Pirating was mostly a British thing. I can't remember who it was. But I swear it was like King Louis or someone who was French, right?
Bottom, bottom, top.
Out of context. Are you on Tumblr again, George?
Yeah, you know me.
Privateers was the name of that type of activity?
Middle.
What, like legal
Bottom.
pirating?
Middle, top, middle, bottom, middle, top. There you go.
Let me find out who it was that did it, because I can't remember and it's going to annoy me. Oh.
Alright, there's one desktop item. Oh!
I don't know how to look it up. It's one of those things, you know. A lot of the stuff that's coming up are pirate kings and also pirates granted, like,
Yeah, One Piece?
yeah, exactly that. Pirate kings and kings granting like pardons for pirates, but
Here we go.
I'm looking up famous privateers. I don't remember. I can't be bothered to look. I'm going back to painting. It might have been Anne Bonny. I can't remember. Hey, yo, is this Outer Wilds music? I love this song. God, Outer Wilds is such a good game.
Mm-hmm.
I never played the DLC.
I never finished the base game.
Damn. I always wanted it to get a VR port.
That feels something that would be amazing if it didn't make you motion sick.
Yeah, it would make you so motion sick. That is exactly what the floor would be.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
There's currently a massive super yacht in my city,
Oh.
owned by the richest guy in the whole of New Zealand.
Oh.
The yacht's like worth $250 million.
Hmm.
Insane. But it's not a very attractive yacht, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it kind of looks like it was made by PlayStation. I was actually debating playing a different game on stream today rather than painting. But I was like, am I really gonna be that guy that starts a game for like 1 or 2 streams right before Monster Hunter comes out? And then just never goes back to those games? Like, I realize I've got Yakuza, and I've never played it.
I'd like to play Yakuza.
I've got
one of them.
I've probably got the same
I think
one.
I might have like 3 of them, 3 different ones.
I've got Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Hmm.
I never finished Dishonored, you're right. I also debated playing that.
Whew.
But yeah, the dude's yacht kind of looks like if you turned like a PlayStation 5 Pro into a yacht.
Hmm.
I kind of want a PlayStation 5 Pro. I wish they weren't so expensive.
Hmm.
And I also have 2 PlayStations in the household already. Like, you know, I could get a PlayStation 5 Pro, or I could get like a 5080. Or a 5070 Ti. I am dreading eventually having to upgrade the CPU in my PC,
Hmm.
because I've never had to remove a water cooler before. And that doesn't sound like it's gonna be fun, you know? I kind of want to see your I've never used stealth in my life ass play of the old AC. Oh, dude, like I completed Assassin's Creed 2 and Assassin's Creed Revelations. But stealth? No. Although also the stealth in those games was kind of shit, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Like until they introduced the hide behind wall mechanic in Assassin's Creed 3, the stealth wasn't great.
Mm.
You can't 100% any of them, I just know it. I don't think I have. No, that's a lie. I very nearly 100%ed Black Flag. The only thing I was off with Black Flag from 100%ing it was one of the ships that I couldn't defeat. I had like a fully upgraded, fully kitted out ship and I could not do it. It just annihilated me. I still fully believe that if Ubisoft made a pirate game that just used the Black Flag sailing engine, like they would make so much money. But instead we got shit like Sea of Thieves.
Save these nuts in your mouth.
Exactly. There's not really that many good pirate games outside of Black Flag.
Mm.
I mean, there's Monkey Island, but like, does that really count? The point and click adventure. It is an incredible game though. Both Monkey Island 1 and 2 are amazing games. If a little dated. Back when LucasArts was releasing bangers.
Let's fucking go.
Who did you beat?
I beat the final boss of the surface that was
Nice.
just introduced in the latest update.
Yo, Zagreus going to the surface now? Oh no, you're not Zagreus anymore.
You know, Zagreus. You're his sister. Sister.
Whoa. C-store. The stealth is fine. I've seen you play Dishonored. You can't be discreet to save your life. No, the stealth is shit. You can't crouch behind things. I distinctly remember, I can't remember if it was Assassin's Creed 2 or Revelations. There's a mission, it's Revelations because it was in Turkey. There's a mission where you have to sneak into like a palace on the roof. It's like this square palace that's like, the buildings are in a square around and then there's no buildings in the center. And you have to sneak into it over the roof. And there's like chimney stacks for you to hide behind, but you can't crouch behind them or stick to them. So you have to pray to God that you don't have like a tiny bit of hitbox poking out that counts for them to see you, which it almost always does. There are games that I enjoy playing stealthily in, even if I'm bad at it. And Assassin's Creed, not one of them. I also don't like in games when there's a forced stealth mission and you fail if you're spotted. I prefer the punishment for failing stealth to be, oh shit, now I have to try and fight off 600 enemies. Rather than you just auto-fail. You know, like Hitman does it really well because there are consequences to your actions. It's not just, oopsies, start again. And then you've got Spider-Man, which has forced stealth missions where you play as MJ and no one enjoys it. But like, I've played Cyberpunk. I did quite a lot of stealthing in Cyberpunk. I used my nice silenced pistol and mantis blades. I never played the Cyberpunk DLC either. There's a lot of DLCs I haven't played, but the problem is, my brain's malfunctioning. The problem is DLC are really expensive at the moment.
Yeah.
Like you're low-key buying a. You're spending more on the DLC for a AAA game than you would be spending to buy a indie game nowadays.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of money to spend on a game I already own. And like, granted, you know, in the case of something like Elden Ring, you low-key get a whole nother game.
Yeah.
And that's the case with all Soulsborns, really. But like, you don't get a new campaign with the Cyberpunk DLC. There's extra content, but it's not a whole nother game. And if I recall, they charged like £45 for it. The Witcher 3 DLCs are criminally expansive. Expansive or expensive? Because I got the Witcher 3 like Game of the Year edition, which came with all of the DLC. So, and I got it on sale, so I think I spent like a total of like 20 quid to get The Witcher and all of its DLC. Maybe not even that. They were probably really expensive on release, but they're not going to be expensive now. Did the Witcher RTX update ever come out? I remember that was set to come out years ago, and then it kept getting delayed and delayed and delayed. I never finished The Witcher on stream either. I can't decide if I'm looking forward to The Witcher 4 or not. My biggest concern is it kind of looks like a different game style to The Witcher 3. And if they're trying to do something ambitious like Cyberpunk, we saw how that went.
Yeah.
Not to say The Witcher 3 wasn't insanely ambitious, but that was back when their investors weren't assholes that went, release the game anyway.
Yep.
Back when a game could actually launch completed. Do you remember the days before day one updates were the norm?
Kinda.
You'd buy a game, you'd get that game, you'd put it in your console, and you wouldn't have to update it, and it would be a game. Like the entire PS2 generation. Have you ever updated a PS2 game?
Nope.
I don't think my PS2 was ever even on the internet. I'm an old man, George. Back in my day.
Back in my day, you're younger than me.
Back in our day, you bought a
Same
game
day.
and you got the game, and then you kept the game, and that game was complete. Nowadays, you buy a game, and even if you get it on disc, you stick it in your console, and the first thing you're met with is a 50GB update. And even if you own the game on a disc, you don't actually own the game.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest changes in gaming that I've never liked, is the shift from owning games to owning a license to play the game. Like, if Steam ever shuts down for any reason, I'm losing thousands of pounds worth of games.
Oh yeah.
Same with PlayStation, really. If PlayStation Service ever shuts down, all of the CDs, all of the PlayStation 5 discs I have will still just become useless plastic. Physical versions for the win, but also, like, when you still have to be connected to the internet because fucking... like DRM, for example. EA is the worst for DRM. Like, if you don't have internet, you can't play EA games. It's basically as simple as that. Always online DRMs punishes players for the act of pirates that aren't even deterred by it existing. Because pirates will find a way anyway. It's a similar thing with fucking Netflix. Netflix Prime and Disney Plus all have anti-piracy measures in place, which is if you use their service on PC, you are capped at 720p. So that you can't, like, record it in 4K or whatever and upload it to the internet, even though they've got anti-recording stuff set up anyway. But it's like, I've got a 4K monitor and I can't watch any of their shit in 4K because they go, nah, you're not using the a smart TV, so you're capped at 720p. Thanks. Even if you use our app. It's annoying. You don't have any games that require online? I've got too many.
Yeah.
Some of my favorite games, you know, Monster Hunter being one. Even, like, Soulsborne games. They don't require online to play, but they have a huge online element.
Yeah.
I feel like there should be buyer protection, like more buyer protection for games, like something in place so that if a game retailer goes bankrupt, like, your libraries will be transferred elsewhere so that you don't lose all of your games. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm sure that there's a huge chance of that happening. Like, if Steam does crash and burn and go down for whatever reason, I reckon Epic Games would buy up the rights instantly and would allow you to transfer your library over, because the influx of users they would get would be unreal. It kind of makes me think of WeView, the streaming service I worked for, as well. Because that whole thing was digitally buying and owning movies to watch. And we were actually when I worked for them, they were about to take on board a huge amount of customers because another service was closing and they were making a deal with that service to take on those customers in their libraries. And then WeView got canned before it ever happened, and then all of the people on our library, like our system, also lost their libraries.
Yeah.
Which is just, it's so shit. And there was nothing in place to protect that. There was no consequence for that happening. It felt really shit. Obviously, you know, I also lost my job, which also felt shit. I just don't... I'm feeding into it myself as well, you know? I have a Kindle. And the convenience of a Kindle is great, you know? I've got access to millions of books on a tiny device. But also, Amazon can at any point just go like, oh, we're discontinuing the Kindle service, all of your library will be gone. Just a game being made with care and has some high quality craftsmanship, it's immediately the best thing around. Like, when did the bar become so low? I know, right? The bar has been put so low. Bethesda is like hugely responsible, in my opinion. They're one of the biggest, like, They have been famous for janky games that have just been excused with, yeah, but it's Bethesda, what do you expect? And it's like, when did the excuse for a game being shit and broken become, yeah, but it's this games company, what do you expect? It's okay.
It's not just that, it's, oh, but it's a AAA game, we can expect that. Because I remember that line, like, pissing me off the most when Cyberpunk came out. And I think it was Spiff I was watching playing it, and he was like, "Oh, it's a AAA game. We've come to expect this." And it's like, true, but why?
Yeah,
like,
why have we come to expect that? Surely AAA games have the highest budgets and the biggest teams. Those games should be polished. Why is it that a team with 5 dudes and passion have made less buggy games than games with a team of 200 people and like millions of dollars behind it? I mean, there's a reason that some of the most popular, like, kind of games that anyone will recognize and remember have had small teams, you know? Like, look at Hollow Knight. I think the first Hollow Knight, obviously, you know, putting Silksong aside, I think the first Hollow Knight had a team of 3 people?
Yeah. 3 or 4, I think it's 3, and then Christopher Larkin as well, who did the music.
And look at Binding of Isaac. The first Binding of Isaac game had 1 person making it. He made it for a game jam, and then went, I actually really enjoyed making this. I'm gonna make this into a full game.
Like Bastion, Supergiant's first game, I think there were less than 10 of them.
Bastion also has one of the most iconic soundtracks.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to think what else now. There'll be some of my Steam favorites. Let me go have a look. One of your first playthroughs of Skyrim, there was a bug and a horse was in front of the camera when you were making your character, so you couldn't see shit and had to restart. Yeah, or like there's that bug where you're on the carriage at the start, which is borderline a cutscene, and then the carriage pings off into space. Most of the games on my favorites are either quite recent, and I don't know how many people they had working on them, or they're big games. I have a habit of finishing really good games and then removing them from my favorites. Another game that is a good example of this is Another Crab's Treasure, which I was going to play today and then decided to paint instead. That game's a Soulsborne, like a Souls-like, and it's so well polished. The combat feels great. Like, I haven't encountered any bugs yet playing it. It's really good, and it's really funny. The comedy's great. It's got voice acting, and it's an indie game. Like, if some rando, like, group of indie developers can make a game like that, what excuse is there for Jedi Survivor to be as poorly built and optimized as it was?
Don't talk to me. I've not even tried playing that game for a good while now. Like,
I finished
since before you started playing it, I haven't picked it up for a while.
I finished it, and I really enjoyed it. Like, the story and the plot and the combat all feel great, but I almost didn't finish it because the amount of troubleshooting and issues that I went through just to play it were making playing it exhausting.
Yeah, I'm saying, I like story and gameplay and all that wise. Yeah, I fucking loved the game. I loved what I played of it, but it just kind of became unplayable for me.
Yeah, and like, I shouldn't have to download like 3 or 4 mods just for it to run properly, to still encounter dozens of bugs and issues, and to even have literal game-breaking bugs where I couldn't make it through cutscenes because certain things would appear in the cutscene and make the game insta-crash, to the extent where I had to skip pretty fundamental cutscenes in the game just to be able to continue playing. Like, there's a cutscene that you have right before you get the ability to dash while jumping, and it's a really important cutscene, both for your character, for understanding the ability, all of this kind of stuff, and I had to skip it. So 1 second I jump into a tornado, and the next second I have a jump dash ability with zero context because it would just crash. And it's such a shame because Jedi Fallen Order was such a good game.
Jedi Fallen Order is genuinely one of my favorite games. I've played through it like, I think 4 times because I played it through on every difficulty. Because I fucking love the game so much.
Did you play through it on PC or on console?
PC, yes.
Because I have heard that that one also wasn't optimized great, especially on release. There were a lot of people that were like, "Oh, Jedi Survivor is having the same issues that Fallen Order had, in that when it released it was hot garbage." But then at the same time, I played Survivor like a year after it released, more, and they have done nothing. It hasn't had an update in months.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't remember when Jedi Fallen Order came out. Let me check. But I played Fallen Order in like 2021, I think.
But Jedi Fallen Order, like, I played it through on PS5, so I had less issues. But that game,
I didn't have any issues.
I didn't have any issues. I had one issue with it, actually. I did have one issue, and that was if I put my PlayStation to sleep and then came back to it, the audio would desync. That was the only issue I had, and it was exclusively an issue that I would only get if I put my PlayStation to sleep without closing the game. And I also had the same, a very similar issue in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, so I think that's just a PlayStation 5 thing. Yeah, Jedi Survivor, the jank on that one. It was like, there were times where I'd get really immersed in it and then it would just immediately do something to fuck it up and pull me out instantly. It was really unfortunate. Like, I used frame generation because, you know, the frame rate in that game was not great, so the frame generation would at least get me extras. And then it would randomly jank out and it would start generating the wrong frames. I don't know if it would generate like a frame behind or something, but it would become really juddery because it was just not actually generating frames between frames. And it was so jarring and it would become suddenly really laggy and horrible to play. My frame rate counter wouldn't drop though. Or like I got the Jawas to join the settlement and none of the Jawas had faces and their weapons were like flying 5 feet away from their bodies. And just shit like that where it's like, how did this game release so unpolished? That cutscene bug, by the way, that I had where it was crashing, not just a me issue, loads of people had the same issue with the same cutscenes, even on Xbox. And the fact that that bug was still persisting, like, years after release. When did Survivor come out? Let's look it up.
A couple years ago? 23?
Type from down here. I accidentally clicked off. Survivor came out 2023. So yeah, I played it two years after it released, right? And bugs that even exist on console, which is meant to be the most stable version of it, was still an issue. They just didn't fix the game. They threw it out and went, fuck it. Not our problem anymore. Like, say what you want about Cyberpunk, you know. The state that they released Cyberpunk in was shocking. That should never have been okay. But they did fix it. And that the bar shouldn't be so low that it's like, well, at least they fixed it. Because it shouldn't have been released in that state. But at least they did fix it. Meanwhile, Jedi Survivor, they didn't even fix. It's like when Animal Crossing New Horizons came out unfinished and it was such a success from the start that they just abandoned it and stopped the updates. I didn't buy Horizon until it was fixed because I knew that some people were actually having their Switches bricked by it. And I was really? I'm not going to do that. Yeah, there were... at one point, there was an Animal Crossing update that bricked a load of people's Switches.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, I'm not going to get that yet. I enjoy Animal Crossing and I want it to be good. But I love that game.
I enjoyed... I kind of enjoyed Animal Crossing. I don't think it's for me.
I've always been an Animal Crossing enjoyer. Although I did think, personally, compared to other Animal Crossings, it had more focus on progressing, but then, I don't know, like, it felt like in the other Animal Crossing games I was progressing not out of a desire to keep going and going and going. I was just progressing because I was playing the game. And so conveniently, you know, would get the money to upgrade my house or do things. And I was just playing it because I wanted to have a nice house and to have a nice, cute village and stuff. Whereas New Horizons felt like it was very incentivized to make you want to keep improving instead of playing for the calmness of playing, if that makes sense. It's not close to New Leaf's level. Agreed. New Leaf, banging game.
See, I say I don't think Animal Crossing's for me. I fucking love Stardew Valley.
Yeah, Stardew Valley is good.
Yeah.
Although they're kind of different. Like, Stardew Valley, there is progression and there's a story that you unlock through progressing and there's romance and there's that kind of thing. Whereas Animal Crossing is just like creating a village that looks pretty and having a nice calm time. But the new Animal Crossing, it felt like it was quite easy to run out of things to do, whereas the old ones, I played for hours. So, I don't know. Like, New Leaf was a huge part of my childhood growing up.
Yeah, I never played any of the other Animal Crossings. Jesus Christ, oh, is that so difficult to say?
Having a stroke there.
Yeah, I guess because I never had like a DS or anything like that.
See, yeah, I mean, I had a DS. I played probably the DS more than any other console. I think I played my DS more than I played my PS2. Hey, look, a bot. I've definitely put more time into Animal Crossing than Stardew Valley, personally, though. But yeah, I mean, even... We all thought that Nintendo was kind of safe. And then, yeah, Animal Crossing happened, and that was a bit of a mess on launch. And then fucking Pokemon, dude.
Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Yeah.
I mean, even Arceus was a bit rocky. But yeah, oh, Scarlet and Violet was... Good God.
What
were they thinking putting Ed Sheeran in the game?
I love that there was a day one mod to get rid of Ed Sheeran. Yeah, I luckily never really had any problems with Scarlet and Violet, but I have seen a lot, like, online.
There were some fun bugs in the Monster Hunter Wilds beta.
Oh?
But, I mean, it's a beta, first of all. You know?
Yeah.
We can't really classify that as the same thing. Unless they persist when the game launches, and then it's an issue. But, have you looked at the map in that game? Like, that you open up to look where you're going? I fucking love the mini-map, dude. It's 3D.
Oh.
So instead of the weird ass Monster Hunter maps where you're not sure what level anything's on, you're constantly pressing up and down on your D-pad to look at the different levels. It's a 3D map that you can pan around and like zoom in and out of and like change where you're looking at it and move it around in 3D space. God, it's so good. But the monster icons are bound to the position of the monster in 3D space because it's a 3D map. That makes sense. But there was a bug with one of the monsters where it just launches into the sky and it keeps on going and keeps on going, and the icon on your minimap just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger until it encompasses the entire map.
That's amazing.
So that was quite a funny bug. You only had a DS and you never really was disappointed by a game. Like, there were some bad ones, but none that were janky to the point of bothering me. See, I didn't have that many DS games, though. I just had some games that I played, like, a shit ton. kind of like, you know, my PlayStation 2. I didn't actually have a huge amount of PlayStation 2 games, but I did have Star Wars Battlefront 2, and I did sink like hundreds of hours into that game probably. Although I remember playing Halo 3 for the first time at a friend's house who had an Xbox 360, and it genuinely blew my mind. Like, the ability to quick melee blew my mind as a child. That was like a... Whoa! And then I finally got an Xbox 360 myself, and my first game on it was Halo Reach, and God, is that a good game.
I wish I could experience Halo Reach.
Just come to Plymouth, George, and we'll play Halo Reach on my Xbox 360. Because I have it here, and we've got our projector set up so we can play it on that. But the Master Chief Collection was another case of, like, something that could have been incredible being launched incredibly broken. And also, that was when they launched something that really pissed me off about the Master Chief Collection, they launched a battle pass on it. But they didn't just...
I didn't even, like, notice that.
Yeah, yeah. So for the online, they had a battle pass. But they didn't just launch a battle pass. No. It was a trial battle pass to test how well it would work before they released Infinity. So it wasn't even a good battle pass because they didn't know what to do with it yet. So they released the shittest battle pass. Oh, I fucking hate it. You have the rights to playing Halo with George. Well, I mean, we could all play 3-player. But...
Oh, is Blaine in stream? Yeah.
Yeah. But we just have, you know, you just have to get your internet working. And George, was it both of your internets?
I don't think so.
But it is 3-player. You can play, like, I think up to 4 people. In Halo Reach, at least. I'm pretty sure. I don't know about... Halo 3 might have been only 2-player, because you had Master Chief and Arbiter. But I'm pretty sure you could play more in Halo Reach. I'm fairly sure. But yeah, no, Halo Reach on Xbox had a really good like cosmetic system, because it was literally just playtime, and playing the game only unlocked you cosmetics. And it was literally just based on like your level. So you'd play a match, you'd get XP, you'd level up. And then as you level up, you'd get credits to buy gear with. And it was great because you could choose what gear you wanted. You could choose to prioritize certain gear over others. Some gear was locked behind level up. The battle pass just locks you behind getting gear in a very specific order. So you have the exact same gear as everyone else because they've all got the exact same gear at the same time. And it's shit. It completely ruins the customization. And then Halo Infinite locked fucking armor color schemes behind a battle pass. In Halo Reach, it literally gave you a color wheel and you could choose the colors you wanted. And you could choose different parts of your armor to be different colors, and it was great! And then Halo Infinite went, what if we just gave you a scheme to choose and you have to pay for it? Who wanted that? Who wanted that? George, you need to get into the gaming industry so you can make good games.
Yeah.
Please make a game that isn't shit so that we have a game to play that isn't shit. I have no game making experience. I can't code. I can't make a game, but I can be the director. I can be the person that we get an investor, and then when they go, hey, if we give you this money, launch the game now, I'll go, fuck you and fuck your money.
The problem is, like, when it comes to things, I've realized I'm way more of a designer than like a maker. I love coming up with the ideas, but then it's like, with my game projects, it's usually, or like with the Tetris Block Warriors thing that we came up with.
Oh yeah.
I love the idea of it. It's so cool. But then it came to like, oh, I gotta make it. I don't want to fucking like. And then I get bored of like trying to make it. I'm a designer, dude.
I should have finished my Unity course that I was doing. But Genshin Impact exists. What a perfect example of everything wrong with gaming. That's a great contribution to this conversation.
I like my relationship, so I'm saying nothing. Jimmy, I believe that's called Diablo 4.
Wasn't there a Diablo game that got ruined by my or the mobile one?
Immortal. Diablo Immortal.
Where people spent like thousands of dollars to get like one gold item or something. Don't you have phones? Now, the one thing I will give Genshin Impact, like, mechanically I don't like it, I'm not a fan of gacha games, and I didn't like the gameplay, but it was polished.
Yeah.
Like, it is actually a polished and, like, they don't release shit unfinished and buggy, which is something, at least. But that's the bar.
Unfortunately, that bar is strangely high.
Big Sag. Also, we've reached a point where I think the tech that we've got is killing creativity, but it's also killing optimization. So people use like powerful hardware as an excuse to not like optimize their game, when you could have a game that could run easily on like hardware from like 5 years ago if it was optimized, but because hardware now is more powerful than that, they don't bother to optimize it. Because, like, there's only so much further fidelity can actually really go. But games are running so much worse now. So it's just optimization, and people are just not bothering to do that. They have also supported voice actors. I mean, other companies support voice actors. Maybe not in that corner of the world. But that's also... Surely supporting your voice actors is also an incredibly low bar, and it shouldn't be commended when they do that. It should be expected. And we should be pointing at the people that don't do that and going, look how shit these people are, not applauding those who do it. You know, like, this game, it didn't kick me in the balls. That's a plus. But that's expected. That shouldn't be a plus. That should be the norm. Unless you're buying Ball Kicker 69.
Yo, my favorite game?
On the Nintendo Wii. Which comes with your own ball kicking device.
No,
Combo's great with the Wii Fit like platform.
Wii balance board.
Yeah.
No, it's on the Switch, and you get the fucking leg strap that you get for Ring Fit with it.
It's a Nintendo Labo device.
No, not fucking Nintendo Labo, please.
Oh. Do you remember when they released VR for the Switch?
Shut the fuck up. That is my problem with Nintendo Labo.
Oh man. And it's like, it's already a 720p device, and then you have to cut that in half between two displays. Oh god. Like, they saw Google Glass and went, wow, that's shit. We can do worse. Google Glass was bad enough. Although I'm not gonna lie, Google Glass is actually what got me into VR. Because specifically, Steven had Google Glass.
Did he?
And I tried it at his house and went, whoa! And I was into VR ever since. And looking back, it was so shit.
Google Glass.
Yeah, as in not the glasses.
Oh.
As in the VR thing you strap your phone into.
Oh.
That was called Google Glass, I'm pretty sure. And like, it wasn't a good VR experience in hindsight, you know? That was the Wild West of VR, where they were really raw dogging it, and moving you around without your permission was just the norm. That was back when people's entry experiences into VR were roller coasters. But I remember I played like a horror experience on it, where you have to sit in a room and stuff happens around you, and it was creepy, and I was like, wow, I want VR now. And then I bought a Google Glass. And I think I used it twice. And then I bought a Quest. Well, actually, I bought a Rift S, but we don't talk about the Rift S. Because I will get sad. Don't know what they were cooking with that one. What Labo? Yeah. I never played any of Labo. Some of it did look fun. I won't lie. Did you ever see the guy who made like a unicycle game for Labo?
Oh.
There's a YouTube video about it. I never actually watched it, but it was just titled like I made the hardest Labo game.
I did not.
Yeah. And it was like a unicycle game where you have like a little unicycle and you pedal forwards and backwards and have to stay upright. Very quap.
Fair.
How did we get here? What were we talking about? Who am I? Who are we? Who are you?
I don't know.
What are you doing in my house?
I'm not in your house. You're in mine.
Well, I've had a song stuck in my head for the last, like, 2 weeks, probably. It's a Jack Stauber song. Or Jack Stauber, however it's pronounced. He did an Adult Swim short, like 10-minute video called Opal. And there's a song in it called Easy to Breathe, which is just such a bop. It's like a really dark, harrowing story, but it's such a bop.
That is.
But I love Jack Stauber. His stuff's so good. Please tell me when it's so easy to breathe on TV. Yeah, it's good. It's a good video actually. I recommend it. Adult Swim has quite a good short series as well called Uncanny Alley, which is like a kind of Junji Ito-esque, like uncomfortable semi-horror shorts. You probably wouldn't like it.
Probably not.
But it was quite good. I would love Junji Ito and Hideo Kojima to team up and make a game. Like the way that Hideo Kojima teamed up with George R.R. Martin, you know? Not Kojima. Fucking that was Miyazaki.
Miyazaki.
But Miyazaki as well, to be fair.
Imagine the ultimate Miyazaki team up though.
What, Miyazaki and Miyazaki?
Yeah. Hidetaka Miyazaki and Hayao Miyazaki.
Super Dark Small Smash Ultimate.
What?
Super Dark Soul Smash Ultimate.
You're thinking of Sakurai, my dude.
Ah, fuck, that's Sakurai. Miyazaki is
Ghibli.
God damn it. I'm mixing up all of the names today. Although, I was gonna make the joke that we are actually getting Dark Souls Smash and it's Night Rain.
Yeah.
What would a Ghibli Souls-like be? Dude, you know the perfect Ghibli setting for a Souls-like, though, would actually probably be Spirited Away.
Yeah.
I could see that being good. I mean, Ni no Kuni was excellent.
Ni no Kuni was so good.
Junji Ito and Hideo Kojima teaming up to make the scariest pissing simulator to ever exist. It would, honestly, it would be so good. Like, because Hideo Kojima is already a fucking loon. And I love following him on Instagram. It's the funny, like the shit he posts. I love when he reposts the picture of him and Elijah Wood together. That just makes me laugh every time. But yeah, he'll just like get a coffee or like build a Lego set or something. Or he had Ashens recently did a video, because Ashens does tap videos. And quite often he does like Poundland, Valentine special or whatever. But this year he did a Tiger Poundland, like a Tiger Valentine special. And there was like a chocolate, like literally just a chocolate man was one of the things Tiger did. And then I went on
Flying Tiger.
Flying Tiger, not Tiger. That's a club, isn't it?
I was gonna say, I was like, I was a little confused, but then I was like, I guess.
Flying Tiger. You're right. They did a chocolate man, anyway, for one of their Valentine's items. And then the next day I went on Instagram and Hideo Kojima was eating that chocolate man.
Yo, let's go.
And I was like, yes. But Junji Ito is also just a really funny person. I'd love to see a conversation between Hideo Kojima and Junji Ito. Because they're both just really funny people, like interesting personalities. Like Junji Ito makes the most harrowing shit, but he's just some random middle-aged Japanese dude. And there's a video of him looking at memes about his manga, and he'll look at one and be like, it's funny because the manga I make are horrifying, but I'm quite a nice person. And he just says it with like such a deadpan voice. But yeah, like a Junji Ito game would be fucking awesome. Like a Junji Ito anything, to be honest. A Junji Ito Souls-like would be so good. Like, if you did it in a more 2D art style, like a Hollow Knight style thing, but make it Junji Ito. Or equally, you could have a game like Scorn, which visually was really cool. Scorn looked awesome. But it was just... it wasn't a very good game. Ni no Kuni is already a game series, by the way. Oh, we know. That's what that was what we were talking about. Is there an anime based on the game?
Yeah, I think there's a Netflix anime. Not based on the game, but based in the world.
Oh, I'm going to have to watch that. I didn't even know that was a thing. Because the game came first, right?
Yeah.
And there's 2 games now, because there's Ni no Kuni...
Wrath of the White Witch, and then Revenant Kingdom.
Revenant Kingdom, yeah. I could remember Wrath of the White Witch.
I have the art book for Revenant Kingdom. I got it for really cheap at a Forbidden Planet in Southampton.
Oh, really?
And I always like saying, oh yeah, I got a Ghibli art book for really cheap. Because technically I did.
You did. I used to go to that Forbidden Planet quite often because I lived quite near.
Yeah.
What about, hear me out,
Oh no.
a 3-way Miyazaki, no, we're making this a 4-way actually. Miyazaki, Junji Ito,
and Hideo
Kojima. A Studio Ghibli, Souls-like, horror, surrealist something. I'd play that in a heartbeat. Maybe they could finally adapt his works the correct way. Yeah. Yeah. Like, outside... There's one game that has adapted Junji Ito quite well, but it doesn't really use his art style. It's like a pixel art horror. But it's the one based on... There's a woman that has really long legs and she's like outside a dude's window, and there's like a horror game, like a 2D horror game based on that. That's quite good. There's also an Ito-inspired, like, text RPG type thing. Like, visual novel RPG-esque survival horror type thing. I really don't know how to describe it. And that's really good. I can't remember what it's called, though. Japanese horror in general is really good. I think they have a lot of, like, horrifying folklore to go off of.
Yeah.
Like, the scissors lady. Have you heard of the Scissors Lady
Can't say I
folklore
have.
ghost spirit? So it's a woman that approaches you. She's holding scissors, and she has a face mask on, and she asks you if she's pretty.
Oh no, I have heard of that.
Yeah, and she takes off the mask, and she's got like massive scars on like either end of her mouth. And if you say she's not pretty, she murders you. And if you say she is pretty, she cuts your mouth to match hers. And the only way to get out of it unscathed is to be like, "Yeah, you're all right." Like, who thinks of that? Where did that come from? There's also a really famous book. It's not a horror, but it's one of the biggest books in Japan. That's called... Oh god, I can't remember what the English title is. I can only remember what the direct translation of the Japanese title is. The English title is called No Longer Human? Something along those lines.
I've heard that name before.
But the direct Japanese translation of it is actually disqualified from humanity. But it's a horrible, harrowing story about a guy who doesn't really want for anything, but is terrified of people because he acknowledges that people are very much driven by desires, and he's terrified that if someone asks something of him and he says no, then he doesn't know what they'll do. So he always says yes. He always tries to give people what they want. And it's a really, really sad, dark story. And Junji Ito did a manga adaptation of it with a Junji Ito spin on it and turned it even darker and sadder. And it's really good. But yeah, the original novel is like horribly depressing about a guy that gets like horrifically addicted to alcohol and drugs. And then the Ghost Stories English dub happened, and I can't not think about it when the topic of Japanese horror comes up. The English dub for Ghost Stories is actually incredible. I'm gonna have to send that to you at some point, George.
Okay.
It's a Japanese... It was meant to be a Japanese horror anime. And I think in the Japanese dub, it is a horror anime. But the English dub, they turned it into a comedy.
Oh.
But like a really absurd comedy where they'll just like... There's a really specific quote I'm trying to remember where I think someone calls someone a stupid bitch or something along those lines. It's an insult to the original material, like it's pretty funny, but damn, they shitted in the soup. Yeah, but they did it deliberately, right? Like, rather than try and recreate the original material and potentially not pull it off, they went, just what if we didn't? What if we just didn't even try? Shall we watch a couple scenes from Ghost Stories and see if my stream gets taken down from YouTube? See if a Ghost Stories funny moments compilation is enough to get my video taken down. The rabbit thing is one of my favorite moments from it. That's 4 minutes of Ghost Stories dub funny moments. Let's go.
I'm not able to watch right now. I'm in the middle of a fight.
That is fine. I'll send you the link to look at when you can. We're gonna watch it.
Headlining in heaven, or according to born again Betty, hell, since after all he is Jewish.
Kaya!
You, what do you want?
Thanks a lot, man.
Huh? I think she's right. You are retarded.
I'm all alone, forgotten, like a black family in bush America.
I mean, I like Terry O'Quinn and all, but that guy's a freak. Is Naveen Andrews still screwing Barbara Hershey? Remember her lips and beaches? And why do fags like that movie so much? God. Oh, perfect. It's in Japanese. Jing Chao No Ning Tao. Wait, that's Chinese. Luckily, I can read Barricade. A police station! Thank God! I never thought
I
I'd be
love
happy
it.
to see one of those things.
The subtle, like, Japanese racism. Like a comment about Japanese in the dub of a Japanese anime.
Put the donuts down! Drop the Krispy Kreme, Serpico! We need your help
You see
here!
my house look like my father and my brother after 9 months or
Yeah,
something?
boogity-diggity-diggity-diggity-diggity-diggity-diggity-diggity!
They were tempted by fruit, and they knew they were sinful and naked without Jesus. Hello, sinner. God, can you go bomb an abortion clinic or something? You just wait. When
I
that
forgot about
wonderful
the
president
Christian.
finishes stacking the Supreme Court, we won't have to. Don't forget what I told you about premarital sex.
It's
Abstinence
relevant.
only got it.
The Supreme President, the president stacking the Supreme Court.
I said
It's relevant.
You're such a crybaby, Ketchero. That's why they pick on you. You gotta be like Cameron Diaz in the paparazzi. Bam!
It's not right to teach a child to respond with violence. He should follow the example of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and forgive his persecutors.
Yeah, and take a look at what happened to him.
You're not helping.
Maybe Momoko is right. You should go Gandhi and show kindness to your enemies, and by doing so, turn them into friends.
You're a fag, and he should join the football team.
Later.
Ketchup! Where's the damn cat? But he... What? Ketchup, what are you, retarded? Obviously. Which way did he go? Now we'll never find out who the ghost is. I hope to God you're adopted.
That's it! That's what I'm talking about! Pump! Pump! Pump!
How did
Think
these
of a
ever
big
get
black man
cleared?
chasing you!
Shirotami, please forgive me for bringing you back to life. I know now that it could never work between us. As much as we wanted to, it could never be. Not because you're a rabbit, but because you're black.
You'll have to catch me first, fat ass!
Come back here, you coward!
Oh, I'm gonna get
You
cancelled
lose
for
weight, you
laughing at
move
this.
faster! Hold it right there! Oh, the music teacher, what a bitch!
When he died, I was so sad that I would never hear that voice again. His
It's
laugh,
just how, like, kind of out of left
his
field
funny
it
little
is.
requests,
Touch me.
his reprimands.
Touch me harder.
Now get out of my way! I'm getting my little brother!
Wait! Mop girl!
You're on our side? Wait a minute, what's your angle? What happened to my leg?
If you break it, your little brother's going to the retarded school in the sky!
Pardon me? I really enjoyed running with you today. Don't you have any money
You
for
forgot they made the
shoes?
psychic and
Did
evangelical,
the crooks
yeah.
beat you up and take yours too? They took mine, and now my dad only buys me cheap ones from Payless. Yeah, genius, but all the rabbits are dead. We should get out our best stationery and our pins and ask Amy Grant for those 3 wishes.
Look what I've got.
Yo, Sensei, dig! What's haps on the craps with snaps?
Cracker.
The piano goes? I'm sure I'll live a long, miserable life of heartbreak and alcoholism before a ghost takes me out. If you're lying, thank you. I told you I'm going to be fine. Why are you still crying? Because his pajamas are gay.
Anyway. I feel like I need to watch both the dub and the sub at some point to see
Yeah.
how it's changed. Because I can't imagine them ever passing that in Japan. It's like they took anime abridged and then made it official. They were like, what if we just actually just do like Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged? But like officially licensed it. The original has plot and is pretty good, like it touches on some pretty dark subjects. Yeah, I'm sure it does. And then there's the sub. I think all subs should be like that, where it's just like a whole new show. Like Power Rangers. George, did I ever send you the Power Rangers anime that came out not long ago?
I don't know.
Oh my god, I need to find it again because I actually do want to watch it because it actually looks fucking hilarious. So it's a comedy anime, but it's actually Power Rangers as well. It's the red Power Ranger gets isekai'd.
Oh.
So it's about the Red Ranger getting isekai'd into a fantasy world. And it's really the scene I've seen from it was really funny. Let me see if I can find. Ugh. Red Ranger Isekai. It's called The Red Ranger Becomes an Adventurer in Another World, and it came out this year. Can I find the funny scene? I think I have it saved on Instagram of all places. I love you love anime titles so much. I know, right? How long ago did I save it? There it is. You're also gonna get an insight into the posts that I save on Instagram for a minute here. I mean, there's a Null Noil meme. I'll open it with that. Before and after Null Noil. But anyway, unmute. Oh god, it's loud. I can't turn it down. I can turn it down for you guys. It's really loud for me.
This is like firing all the worst ways.
I know. Like, it's very clearly taking the piss. Oh, it's looping. Shush. Oh god. I don't remember what level I had my PC audio on in Streamlabs now. I hope the story is serious and everyone has to pretend this bullshit doesn't happen. Well, it's clear that, like, it's a serious story that just happens to have the Red Ranger in it, and the Red Ranger doesn't make sense to anyone else. He's just there being the Red Ranger, and everyone else is there like, what the fuck? So yeah, I may actually watch that at some point. I need to add it to my anime list. I've already forgotten what it was called. Red Ranger goes on adventure in something. The Red Ranger becomes an adventurer in another world. The title is just literally describing exactly what the anime is. Red Ranger. Sentai Red Isekai de Bokenshina ni Naru. There you go, that's the Japanese title. It hasn't finished airing yet. Damn. What voice actors does it have? Yeah. Plan to watch. Oh, do I need to log in? Also, giving the Red Ranger red hair brings up the question of, did they give the other Rangers the same hair color as their Ranger color? I'll let you know when I watch it. I want to see if I recognize any of the voice actors. Who voices the Red Ranger? Tomoya Ito. The only other thing he's been in is Shin Tennis no Oji-sama. It's got Ono Tomohiro in it. Who was in an anime called Tomodachi Game. Which doesn't appear to be linked to Tomodachi World. He's not really been in anything I've seen either. The cast is surprisingly not just like the same 5 voice actors that I recognize. There was a Zombieland anime? Oh, I don't think it's related to the Zombieland films. Yeah, I don't recognize any of these voice actors. Wild. Also, did you know that Animal Crossing isn't called Animal Crossing in Japanese?
Oh.
It's called Dobutsu no Mori, which means animal forest.
Huh.
And for some reason, that was translated into Animal Crossing for English markets. No idea why. Personally, I think Animal Forest is a nicer name. I don't really get the crossing part. Like, it isn't an animal crossing in the real world like a road that animals can cross. Play my music. Now that we're done watching Power Ranger Isekai. This reminds me I need to watch Death Note again, and by again I mean watch until L's death and then skip to the last episode. Ah, you mean the same way everyone else watches that anime. Death Note, the anime that is absolutely fire for about half of the show. An anime I really need to rewatch, because one of my colleagues is watching it at the moment, is Code Geass. Because that anime was so good. But I can't remember half of what happens in it. Did you ever watch Code Geass?
I watched like a good chunk of the first season of Lelouch. Of Lelouch the Rebellion.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think I just stopped watching it just because I started watching something else. Like, nothing against it. I think I just started watching something else.
Yeah. You should give it another go.
Yeah, oh, I really want to.
Because now that I finished Inuyashiki, I might watch it. I'm between watching that and watching Red Ranger Isekai. And I don't know what I should prioritize, you know? Do I watch something I know is good, or do I watch something that could be good? Also, Skate the Infinity OVA. That's happening. Although, when it'll happen, who knows? I just really hope it doesn't go the way of Yuri on Ice. Which I never watched, but I do know that it got cancelled. But yeah, Skate's interesting because it did things a little bit differently to a lot of other animes, which is it didn't have a manga to go off of. Like, a lot of anime are obviously based on mangas that exist, but it means they have a story to go on. Whereas Skate the Infinity was very much just made. So it's all the more impressive how good an anime that is. Like, I actually think Skate might be one of my favorite animes. I know it's one of your favorite animes.
Just good vibe.
Yeah.
Except for that bit in the middle where Ricky becomes depressed, but...
But you're also, like, emotionally invested in him being depressed, you know?
Yeah.
You're depressed too. Also, there's a beach episode, which I really didn't feel was necessary, but appreciated nonetheless. Like, the anime wasn't dark enough to warrant a beach episode. There's one really specific episode in Naruto, like in Naruto Shippuden, that I just always remember for some reason.
Is it the mushroom episode?
Yeah,
Yep.
with the ship and the shadow clones.
I knew exactly what it was going to be.
I don't know why though.
Because it was just, like, even though it was a filler episode in the collection of filler episodes, like, it's that and the fucking Iron Man suit one. Just,
Yes, that
so
one's the other
weird.
one. The Iron Naruto. It was like Metal Sonic, but Naruto.
Hmm.
Who was it that made the Iron Naruto suit? The Mecha Naruto? Was it Orochimaru?
Maybe. Made Mecha Naruto.
Dan Dan is also good, I
No,
agree with you, Bushimi. Oh no, you still need to watch it, but I have watched it and it's good.
I mean, in universe. Not. It was like, I typed in, who made Mecha Naruto? Masashi Kishimoto created Mecha Naruto.
Just what you needed. BNA is a very good anime that also doesn't have a manga to be based on.
Yeah,
What's BNA?
Orochimaru. I don't know.
What's BNA? My brain immediately went Boku no Hero, but it's not that.
Boku no Academia.
Boku no Academia. There's a really bizarre anime on Netflix that I've been tempted to watch because the premise of it is fucking ridiculous. It's called Baba 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 Vampire.
Oh.
And it's about a vampire who is making sure that a teenage boy doesn't get a girlfriend because he wants to drink his virgin blood. That is the premise that Netflix gives you. And the animation looked good. And for the premise, it shouldn't look that good. It was just the most Japan description for an anime I'd ever read. Shall I find out exactly what the Netflix description for it was? Because it was just one of those moments where you start reading it and you're just like, what am I reading? The description alone is a roller coaster. It's called Baban Baban Ban Vampire.
Oh.
Obviously in Japanese it would be Banpire. When 15-year-old Rahito falls in love, an ancient vampire who craves 18-year-old virgin blood must protect the teen's virginity at all costs. That's the premise.
That is something.
God. Anyway. Wait, Digital Circus is on Netflix? I thought that was a YouTube series. I thought that was like a web series. I never watched it. Kinda got put off by the people that watch it.
Yeah.
There's a Netflix Gudetama series?
Yeah.
Huh. And then, yeah, there's Dandadan. Dandadan is good. I really like it. The first episode is a hard sell, though.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, if you don't have people telling you that the anime you're about to watch gets better, you're gonna watch that first episode and go, what the fuck? What am I watching right now? I don't like the opening.
Nah.
I don't know if that's controversial because a lot of people really like it, but
I think it is. I'm not the biggest fan of it.
the little Pikmin sounds like drill into my brain and hurt me inside.
I know Blaine loves the... Yeah, Blaine said they love the opening, but especially the Pikmin sound I know they love.
I really didn't like it.
Yeah, and
It gave me
Also-
like the most negative ASMR.
also they like... Creepy Nuts, the band, have done just better opening. And I'm not talking about fucking Mashal's opening. Even though that's alright. Fucking Cooler Than Night's opening and ending.
I don't know, I haven't heard it.
Which, to be honest, the Cooler Than Night's opening and ending were made before the anime came out, before the manga came out.
So they weren't made for the anime.
No, but the manga was based, and I think like the mangaka for Cooler Than Night like asked Creepy Nuts if they could use their song title as the name for the manga because it was like somewhat inspired by the song.
Fair.
But yeah.
I like some of the Dandadan opening. Some of it's good. Just not the squeaky little get out of my brain moment. Inuyashiki had a good opening.
Oh yeah, dude.
The whole thing was English.
Yeah, fucking Man with a Mission. Banger band.
The Pikmin sound really does wonders for my tism. It does the opposite for my ADHD. I wonder if the Red Ranger Isekai opening is any good. I'll have to let you know when I watch it. Dude, fucking Colors by Flow for Code Geass.
Oh, banger. Top tier. Slaps. Yes, absolutely. Keep
Although,
doing what?
I will say, banger of an opening, really good song. Does it fit the vibe of the anime?
That, yeah.
It's kind of like the opening for Erased. I really don't feel like it fits the vibe of the anime. It's a really happy, cheery opening, and it's really good. But the anime is about children being murdered. But yeah, no, I genuinely, I really recommend Dandadan. I really recommend Inuyashiki.
Inuyashiki was great. I was watching Inuyashiki as it was coming out.
Fair. My only complaint with Inuyashiki, but it was absolutely fair enough, and it was worth the story and everything was worth it to like get past it. The CGI in it is not great.
Yeah. I thought that's what you were gonna say. And yeah,
But I realized I think one of its biggest problems, the CGI's biggest problems, is it's too smooth. Like, anime is rarely actually animated at 30 FPS. Like, they're usually animating on 2s, sometimes even 3s, sometimes even 4s. Whereas the CGI was all, like, distinctly 30 FPS, so it suddenly becomes really smooth. I reckon if they had just cut the frame rate down, it would have looked way better. But other than that, like, it was really good. Really dark, but really good. The bath scene, like, the darkest thing I've ever seen in an anime.
Oh my god, the fucking bath scene, I remember that.
Yeah. Darkest thing I've ever seen in an anime, I think. Like, full stop. Dungeon Meshi had really good openings, and they were very well designed for the theme and vibes of the show. I agree.
Yeah, I think I preferred the first one. I felt the first one suited the show better.
I also agree. Dungeon Meshi was so good though, just in general.
Because, yeah, the second one felt a lot more generic anime, whereas the first one felt like adventure kind of. I don't know. I just felt it suited the vibes way better.
I also felt like Dungeon Meshi did quite a good job of being fairly accessible for mainstream Western audiences who don't necessarily watch anime. Like, don't get me wrong, the Venn diagram of like people who play D&D and people who watch anime is basically a circle. But I feel like there were a good amount of people who like D&D that don't necessarily watch anime that still watched Dungeon Meshi and enjoyed it. That's me, lol. D&D guy, not a big anime watcher, love Dungeon Meshi. Because it was good. It was absolutely quality. Dandadan, on the other hand, really good, but like if you don't watch anime, you will not get on with Dandadan. I feel like you have to be fairly seasoned in anime to watch something like Dan Da Dan.
Yeah.
Do you ever find when you first listen to some anime openings, you don't like them, and then you listen to them a couple times and you're like, this shit goes hard?
Yeah.
There's a Jujutsu Kaisen opening. I can't remember what it's called. It's the one where they're all both teams are like, it's like nighttime and they're walking. Both sides, which is like every anime opening ever. What's it called? Either way, when I first listened to it, I didn't like it, and then I would listen to it a couple more times, and I think it's one of my favorite openings, or at least Jujutsu Kaisen openings. Now, I think you know what my least favorite anime opening is. And it's an anime opening that you actually like.
I before you even said it, I was like, is it Shippuden opening 2? Dude,
You are my friend.
look, okay, I love that song.
Specials, that's the one. You are my
Oh.
special. I didn't like that anime opening. I didn't like that opening the first time I heard it.
That's fair.
But
Like,
it's one of my favorites.
I can see. Honestly, I'm kind of the same. I didn't vibe with that first, but then it was like, okay, it's growing on me.
Right? And like,
Because I think it also, as you carry on with the series, it's like, okay, it's fitting the vibe.
yeah, and also the whole opening, like the whole animation goes really well with the song.
Yeah.
Oh. Are there any other anime openings I didn't like? I'm trying to think. I don't tend to remember the ones I didn't. Can't remember. Can't think. What's my least favorite SNK opening? I can barely remember them, to be honest. I can only remember, like, the SNK opening. I don't know, the problem is I need to rewatch it because I also never finished it. I think I got to, like, season 3. I don't think I watched season 4. I haven't watched final season part 1, 2, 3, or 5. Or 4 for that matter.
Final season, part 2, final edition. The end.
Pre-order bonus.
This one. Final, actually this one. Version 4.2.1.
What's your favorite Durarara opening?
Ooh. Oh, that's difficult because they're all really good.
They're all bangers, right?
I listened to all of them a lot.
Like, obviously, Flo stepping out. Peak.
Peak.
Okamoto's Headhunt peak.
Headhunt. It might be.
I think it's Headhunt for me as well.
I have to listen to Headhunt to make sure. Oh yeah, that one. That's what Headhunt was. Yeah. Oh.
I need to rewatch Durarara.
Mm.
That anime feels like a fever dream in the back of my memories. You never managed to watch Durarara, like you tried, but you think it was a weird spin-off of and B. You think it was a weird spin-off and you didn't understand anything? Is that what you tried to say there? Or is and B something? And I, right. It's not a weird spin-off of anything, is it?
No. I don't think so.
It's so good. Urban horror
Durarara-
meets
Durarara times 2 is just
Durarara
Durarara
season 2. It's like urban horror meets Japanese gang warfare.
Hmm.
I mean, the naming conventions of the seasons is not good.
Yeah, it.
Like, Durarara, fine. Durarara times 2, okay. Durarara times 2 Ketsu.
Was it Ketsu first?
That's my point. I don't remember.
Because I remember the three subtitles of Durarara times 2 are Sho, Ten, and Ketsu. I don't remember which order they are.
On Netflix, when I got there for the first time, there was only Durarara times 2. Well, that's the issue. If you started with Durarara times 2, you're gonna feel like you don't get what's going on because you're missing out on a whole series of context.
Mm.
Like, there's an entire season introducing you to all of the characters and their quirks before that point. And I don't mean quirks like My Hero Academia.
So yeah, it's Durarara, and then it is that order: Sho, then Ten, then Ketsu.
Sho Ten Ketsu.
Yeah.
Okay. I will try and remember that. Because I am going to rewatch it at some point. Why is it called 10 when it's season 3?
Who knows?
It's actually season 4, isn't it?
No, it's 3.
It is 3.
Because times 2 isn't its own thing. Times 2 is split in. It's like part 1, part 2, part 3, essentially.
Oh, I thought it was times 2, then times 2 show, then...
No, it's Durarara, then Durarara times 2 Sho, Durarara times 2 Ten, Durarara
Oh.
times 2 Ketsu.
I was remembering that wrong.
The poster for times 210 literally just has a 3 in it.
You thought the motorcycle lady was really hot? I mean, she was. Oh, it does have a 3 in it, you're right. She was hot. Like, you're not wrong. She also doesn't have a head. But, like, that doesn't matter. They still gave her a voice actor even though she physically cannot speak.
Oh my god, her voice was hot as well, though. I mean, like, that voice actor just had a hot voice.
I mean, her voice was very fitting for the character.
She also was the voice of Sinon in Sword Art Online. And
Oh.
that's all I have to say.
Dude, Sinon was great.
Exactly.
I think Sinon is like 99% of the reason that I like snipers so much in games, even though I'm so shit with them.
Mm.
God, the fucking minigun scene.
The minigun scene.
Oh,
Oh, so good. I'm
just having memories now. Sword Art Online.
Dude, rewatch it. Rewatch all of it. Do
I
it.
tried. I don't think I finished season 1. I got to Alfheim and then was like, God.
Get through it and then, because Alicization.
Because I've not watched
goes
Alicization.
fucking hard, dude.
I've not watched Alicization, and I need to.
Like, genuinely, Alicization is, for me, as good as Aincrad.
Damn. For a lot of people, that's not heavy praise. You know what I'd love to rewatch at some point, but God, is it a commitment? And not Shippuden, because I do also want to rewatch that at some point, but that's also hell of a commitment. I really want to watch Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah.
You Loki really liked Kirito's girl persona and was disappointed when he went back to his man persona. What, just long Kirito with long hair? Trap Kirito. Femboy Kirito.
Go.
But I also didn't like the incest. Why do they always have to bring incest into anime?
Mm-hmm.
But it's okay, because she's his cousin.
Low-key, fucking Sword Art Online abridged, like, fixed that storyline and made it so much better.
Oh?
Like, the whole reason that Sugi was mad at Kirito was, like, basically him ignoring her through their whole childhood. Like, him giving up Kendo, her keeping on with it, and then him just, like, completely shutting her out.
Mm-hmm.
They made, like, that a whole thing, and dude, it, like, that, it fixed the story.
And instead they were like, nah, she just wants to bang him.
Mm-hmm.
But she doesn't know it's him, so it's not weird, right? It was surprising how dark Sword Art Online got in some moments. Like, obviously, you know, there was some kind of understandably dark bits, like people just killing themselves rather than trying to play the game and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, like, the entire Asuna assault scene was a tone that I wasn't expecting the anime to take. Don't know about you.
No.
That scene was not that scene, but the I really set myself up for failure by starting by saying that, didn't I? The scene where Kirito fights the rich dude, and the rich dude's like, "Oh, gravity magic is OP. We're testing that out."
Oh yeah.
And then Kirito gets like admin controls. And like slashes his face with the pain threshold turned up.
Oh yeah, it turns on the pain threshold.
Yeah, that was a good scene. And then the guy comes at Kirito in real life, and his face is all like messed up from it. Do you remember 16.5 or 14.5, whatever it was
16. Yep, 16.5.
called? I remember being convinced that that was canon. Like, yeah, dude, they've got genitals. That's a real thing. They had to give people their genitals back because they got depressed by not having them. Zoned out for a moment. What the fuck are you saying? I can't even remember. Sword Art Online 16.5 was like a fan fiction about the show where Kirito and Asuna bang. And it like gives a lore reason as to why they have genitals in the video game. Which as a teenager I thought was canon.
You mean it wasn't?
What? I mean, I don't know. Like, do you think? Because the female characters have boobs, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like, if they were to take off their clothes, would they have nipples, or would they be like Barbie dolls? Like, are the men just like Ken dolls? Do you think, or do you think they've actually got genitalia? Questions for the ages.
Questions for the ages. I would say, I feel like it would be Barbie doll / Ken doll.
See, I was thinking it's Japanese, right? So there's
True.
probably boobs, there's probably nips, but there's probably
Yeah,
nothing else.
That makes sense.
That would be my assumption. Or you take off your clothes and it's all pixelated down there. You can't even see your own peen. Do they have to pee in Sword Art Online?
I don't think so.
Because they have to eat. Sims logic, exactly. Do you think when making your Sword Art Online character you had like a peen size slider?
Or like fucking Cyberpunk.
Like Cyberpunk, yeah.
Oh yeah. 90% of men turning it up to max.
Yeah. But then when it changes your appearance to your real appearance, it changes your peen to real as well. Suddenly you have a lot of men who are very disappointed. And a lot of girls who are equally disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
Did it change
Yeah,
voices as well?
I don't think so. At least Kirito and Klein didn't.
Yeah,
and they
theirs were
like,
the same. But then there was that guy that was changed from a woman to a man.
Yeah, I think. Wait, no, I think they did. Like the woman, the guy did.
That guy did, right? But I don't think they did with Kirito or Klein, did they?
No, but I think because they're like main characters.
Mm. That'll be a lot of work for the first episode.
Yeah.
orb. This guy is hefty already. Or a heffalump. In the first episode, the guy friend says he's hungry and that's what triggers the someone tries to log off but can't scene. And then they never talked about whether they can still feel their bodies IRL. Well, like, they can't feel their bodies IRL. Hades, stop attacking my cables. They can't feel their bodies IRL, but they still get hungry in that they have to eat in-game to satiate the feeling of being hungry.
There's the whole scene with the bread with Kirito and Asuna near the start.
Like, they don't need to eat because they're being fed in hospitals, right? That's like the IRL explanation, is that they are like hooked up to IVs and food machines and stuff. But they still feel hungry and have to eat. But does that mean they have to pee? I need to look this up. Has anyone asked or answered this question? Is it going to come up with SAO 16.5? Do they need to pee in SAO? 3 years ago, r/anime. Do they need to go to the toilet in SAO? Someone is talking about real world stuff. That's not what I needed. If you're talking about Ironclad arc, they can't log out for obvious reasons. For other arcs, I'm sure the headset warns them about this somehow. Not what I needed. The nerve gear essentially intercepts brain signals, stops them and converts them into your avatar. What I'd imagine would happen is that if your bladder is full, a signal goes to your brain which creates that I need to pee sensation that tells you to go to the bathroom and avoid your waste. It is. It seems like there's no, it's not confirmed. But yeah, I mean, you get hungry in SAO, and eating affects how you feel. I feel like you could really easily lose weight playing SAO by eating food in game and no longer feeling hungry. Like, oh, I'm feeling peckish, I'll just hop into SAO and eat a snack. I feel like that would also really easily lead into eating disorders.
Oh, absolutely. I did think that. I was like, yes, but like that would become, I feel that would become unhealthy fast.
For a lot of people, yeah. This great new dieting tool. We should make an anime.
How?
With a pen.
I can't draw that well. I can't animate.
Here's the thing, right? We lean into that. It's really shit animation. But the story just goes so hard. We'll animate the whole thing in Blender grease pencil.
Okay.
And then that sorts the lighting for us, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Fiend. Trying to eat my cables. Yeah. Roar. I have a new light arriving tomorrow, so I can get rid of this ring light, which is slowly breaking and dying more and more. I've actually finally ordered like a decent box light. And it has a battery, a rechargeable battery, but you can also use it plugged in. And then they play another Total Separation to Your Body VR game because the main cast just love rolling those dices. They played like 4. They beat Einkrad, and then instead of being horrifically traumatized, go, let's play Elfheim. And then Kirito goes, I'm kind of done with this now. And then the FBI turns up and goes, we want you to play this shooter. We want you to track down Desugund.
The best named character in all of anime. Death Gun.
It gives Kira a run for his money. Death Gun. Like, God. Yeah, it's perfect. Because what is it? It's a guy that shoots people with the death gun, and then they die. But oopsie daisy, it's because they're getting stabbed.
They're getting poisoned.
Poisoned. And I couldn't remember. Could Death Gun die, or was he just really good at the game? I couldn't remember if he was hacking or if he was just really good at the game. I thought you said Desugund. I did. Desugund.
I think he was just good at the game.
Yeah. Because, like, no one managed to kill him, did they? He breaks into people's home. He doesn't. His friend does. Because he's playing the game.
There was a whole team of death guns.
Mm-hmm.
Technically.
But, like, no one before Kira... God. No one before Kirito ever actually managed to beat Death Gun in a duel, did they?
No.
So I couldn't remember if he was, like, just really good at it or if he was, like, hacking for whatever reason. Who was the person with AIDS?
Oh, Yuki.
Yuki! That was depressing. I really liked Yuki.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were one of my favorite characters for a time.
Mm.
When Kirito was like, this person must come from SAO. The only reason someone would have moves this good is if they have lived in the world.
No, he said specifically she wasn't in SAO because if she was, she would have the dual blades ability.
Oh, yeah. The other way around. But he was like, this person must live in this world.
Mm.
Remember when in Elfheim he dual wields and just games the system in a way that no one else had thought to do up to that point?
Yeah, the fucking... I use one weapon skill on one hand, then I use a weapon skill on the other. I'll be honest. The weapon skill thing in Sword Art Online was a big part of the inspiration behind my augmentation wizard.
If Kirito was a real person, he'd be a League of Legends player.
Oh, absolutely.
He was just animation cancelling. But, like, how had no one else thought to hold a weapon in 2 different hands and activate their abilities one after the other? Surely someone would have done that. Someone. There were some concepts I really enjoyed in Alfheim, though, like the wings.
Yeah.
Hades, what are you doing? Like the wings and how you could fly with a joystick, but you'd learn to like actually control them like a limb was really cool. Ambidextrous bitches love to show off no shot it never happened before, right? Also, Kirito's not the only person that dual wields in Sword Art Online. And I feel like you probably know the exact scene I'm talking about, George.
Yeah, the fucking Rosalia scene where he gets hit with the guy with 2 axes.
The 2 axes, yeah. And it's like, what? But
I
they're
think
not
it's because-
swords.
Yeah, the specific skill is like dual blades or dual swords.
Also, you never see anyone using a bow and arrow, which would have been
Okay.
my weapon of choice.
Okay, there is, in the light novels, there is actually reasoning for this.
Yeah, they're not in the game, are they?
They're not in the game. There is only one type of ranged weapon in the game, and that is chakrams. Like,
But
there
I'd
was a
wanna
whole
use a
thing
bow
of
and
this
arrow.
in... There was a whole thing of this in one of the Sword Art Online light novels, and I think it was one of the progressive ones. There was a guy who had, like, I think, a faulty nerve gear or something that essentially gave him, like, eyesight problems,
Oh.
and didn't want to actually go in. He didn't want to go into a fight, but still wanted to fight. So they were like, "Hey, use chakrams. That's the thing."
That sounds like
So,
a
yeah.
terrible idea if your eyesight's terrible. Have a weapon that returns to you. Have a bladed disc that returns to you if you miss. But bows would have been a weapon that I would use. That would have been my go-to weapon of choice in a game like that. Or magic. Probably magic, actually, but they also didn't have that. But also, we know that you can throw stuff. Like you say, chakrams. But also, like, Kirito throws rocks.
He throws a rock, yeah.
So, like, assumedly, you could stock up on knives and throw those. Like a certain Baldur's Gate 3 character I know.
Hey. I didn't throw those knives.
No, you just had them.
I just hoarded knives.
I think you intended to throw them, didn't you?
Maybe.
And then never
probably.
did.
No, because, like, firstly, throwing knives is a pain in that game. Secondly, like, I had really good weapons just anyway.
But yeah, you could just throw knives, right? You could throw your weapons. And I imagine it would actually probably be quite strong. Unless you can't throw weapons in Sword Art Online.
Oh, no. There literally is. So I got up the Sword Art Online wiki page for this character. So yeah, there was literally a skill called blade throwing. Blade throwing is the only skill that allowed the use of projectile weaponry.
But what about the rock at the start in the first episode?
I don't fucking know.
That doesn't count.
Yeah. So the character suffered from a case of full dive nonconformity. It basically destroyed his depth perception. So, you know, a chakram with a lack of depth perception
Sounds great.
Yeah, it sounds really, really good.
What a great idea. I think that dude was getting trolled. George, if you were an SAO, would you be a beta?
That depends. Would I have gotten into the beta in this situation?
In this context, yes.
Sure.
Damn, I can't believe you. See, I didn't
No,
get into the beta, and I'm in the anti-beta guild.
Oh yeah, of course.
I actually founded it. I was that guy that was like, "Oh, fucking betas."
You were Keybao.
Yeah.
The
They
best
just want to hoard
character.
the loot for themselves.
The best character, the guy with fucking hair that is like shaped into a mace, essentially, or like a morning star.
That's just me in real life. What do you mean? Have you ever seen me?
Oh, of course.
That was just me in secondary school, don't you remember? That character was actually inspired by me.
Good to know.
The creator contacted me and was like, "Hey, I want to use you as a reference for this character in Sword Art Online." And I was like,
And
"I
you
don't
were
know,
like,
man. You're gonna
"I
have to
got you,
pay me."
fam."
And he was like, "Nah."
Ah. Right, too bad. I'm doing it anyway.
Yeah, I know, right? Which is like a pretty shit thing to do, to be honest. And then he didn't pay me. I think I should sue. And that's why the character is just my name but backwards as well.
Wobiak. Wobiak.
Yeah, that's what they called me.
Sword Art Online has been and gone. Like, in terms of the timeline.
Yeah,
Sword
that's
Art
happened
Online
now.
Happened.
What are they called in Ready Player One? The one with those fucking ridiculous. Oh, you mean
Oh.
Gunters?
Gunters, yeah. You fucking Gunter.
The Egg Hunters? Shortened to Gunter? You said my name but backwards, and my brain immediately went, haha, guy called Lube. That's not even blue backwards.
Oob.
Oob. Oob. That's just the noise that grown tubes make.
Oob.
Oob. Oob. Oh god. What what are we doing, George? Oh. You know, I suggested that one time that there's some quite popular Japanese podcasts that are used for Japanese immersion. Like, you just listen to them and slowly get better at Japanese by listening to Japanese people talk. And I was like, we should do that for English, because I'm sure there's loads of people learning English, but what would... Could you imagine how much anyone would struggle listening to a podcast of us
Going, oob. Oob.
There's a podcast I use. I'm aware that it's 10 o'clock, by the way. There is a podcast I listen to that I actually really enjoy, because they do quite simple language. They like break it down. They do different levels. but they're clearly just buddies. And they have when they have these really basic conversations, they make each other laugh and they crack quite a lot, and it just makes me laugh as well. It's just fun to watch. Anyway, that's probably where I should end it. This is how many Tyranids we have left. I should be able to finish that in one more painting stream. Or, less likely, I'll have them done before the next stream and we'll start working on their carapace. But that's probably not going to happen because I have ADHD.
Like that. Yeah, right. Like that will ever happen.
Anyway, thank you for watching. We'd die before you get to colours. You mean the flow opening? Wow, we got full circle! Anyway, goodbye. See you next week.